Hey everybody, welcome to episode 3 of the Expectations podcast. I have a good friend of mine here, a great woman. Do you like going by PK or Pakou better, like for everybody else out there?
Just Pakou.
Pakou's cool?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, she owns a dentistry. I always messed up, like I don't really know the right term, but out here in uptown Minneapolis, called the Minneapolis Dentistry Company. I wanted to kind of get out here to kind of show a different career path that not a lot of people actually get real insights about like the journey of becoming an actual dentist and actually owning your own dentistry. So I appreciate you being on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so kind of give us like who is Pakou Yang, like as a dentist, like just you in general, like who's Pakou Yang, if you were to kind of just give a quick intro.
Yeah, so my full name is Pakou Yang,
Yep.
and I'm a general dentist. So I founded this clinic, and we opened it in May. It's called Minneapolis Dentistry Company, like you said. So who I am is, I'm like one of you, and I kind of grew up and realized early on in my life that I really liked science. And so that just kind of threw me into science and art and led me into dentistry. So I am like your older sister, somebody you come to when you need help and advice. If I can help in that area for dentistry, that's what I'm best at.
Yeah,
so,
I love that. No, I kind of get that vibe, just like our interactions together. I kind of get that kind of like big sister vibe from you, so that's awesome. Give us like so I think everybody has like a chapter 1 of their life, so like kind of give us like the chapter 1 of your life, like your childhood, you growing up. Like how are you like growing up, and then like how's your childhood growing up?
Yeah. So my parents came to the U.S. in 87. They had me in 88, and I was the second oldest. And well, now I have 12 siblings, so 6 brothers, 6 sisters. So I feel like I was babysitting my whole life growing up. Yeah. But my childhood was basically the first 3 of us kids were girls, and then the son finally came along, my little brother. And so it kind
There's 4 of you.
There's 13 of us.
Okay.
13,
wow.
Yeah. So I'm the second oldest.
13.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's been fun, but that's why I said I feel like I'm an older sister. Everything in my family's been focused on, every time a guest comes over, make sure they're feeling comfortable and welcome all the time. And so I feel like that's just who I am. Like wherever I am, if you, like first time you meet me, I just want to know about you and learn about you, and that's what I do, and I live it every day.
Yeah. So you're the second oldest of 13 kids. How was that like? Like you pretty much had to help out a ton, I'm sure, with like 13 siblings.
Yeah. So growing up, it was really funny because every other year my parents would have a child, and so I think I was in 4th grade, and I couldn't tell, like, people would ask me, like, how many siblings do you have, and I had to, like, count my fingers, because there were, like,
Changes
more,
every year.
it keeps changing, and, so it was really fun, getting to know. I really didn't realize this part of it until later on in my life, that everybody was so unique in their own ways, even having 12 different siblings, but, growing up, I was just totally into school. I loved school. It was just everything, and my parents really encouraged it. Loved my teachers, and going to school and just learning all the time. I think the exposure.
School was something you enjoyed?
I loved it, yeah.
Awesome, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that totally makes sense. So, like, what was your parents' expectations of you? I mean, obviously you're second oldest.
Yes.
What, like, kind of talk about, like, their expectations of you growing up, that they voiced their expectations.
Yeah.
Did you kind of know their expectations of you?
Definitely, like, both my parents were orphans, basically, so growing up, they were always talking about how important it was to, number 1, make people feel welcome when they're around you, number 2, education. They always wanted us to be able to find opportunities, and for me, they were just constantly on me about, hey, you gotta learn the Hmong girl duties, like, you have to learn how to wash the dishes, cook and clean, which I now realize everybody should learn. But
I agree with that. 100%.
The only way I really could get out of that was if I was reading a book, because then my dad would be like, "Oh, she's reading at school."
Okay. Yeah.
So, and my mom always thought I was lying, which I wasn't. I loved books.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So reading books is something you enjoy.
Love it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And your dad was pretty big on just being big on education yourself?
I would say it was mainly my mom, because
Okay.
my dad was the breadwinner, and so he was a welder, and he was usually gone, working, and my
Okay.
mom stayed at home and took care of the kids
Yeah.
because the family was growing.
Mm-hmm.
And so my mom would always constantly be talking about, like, you need to get educated, you need to focus on school, you need to, keep doing this, which your parents don't really know, like, they just keep telling you.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, my parents, they don't really realize the homework load and everything you go through.
Yeah,
But,
100%. So you're growing up, you're second oldest in your family.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about, like, when did you just know you wanted to become a dentist? Was it later on, or was it pretty soon? Like, you kind of knew, like, when people ask you, like, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
Like, dentist, or...
So I think it, like, totally branches off from when I was a fifth grader. In fifth grade, I actually went to a school in St. Paul called Benjamin Mays for a year. And we went to this class, and they said, this is an awesome class you're going to be going to. Or they didn't really say that. We walked in line, we got there, it was science class. And they said, oh, the boys are going to love this class.
Mhm.
And I sat down, like, why are the boys going to like this class?
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, well, it's science, and boys like science.
Really?
So in my head,
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what's so bad about science that girls wouldn't like it?
Mhm.
I was really confused.
Mm.
And so that kind of sparked my interest. And so, like I said, science and art, I love art. And just from that moment on, I just kind of knew, like, I wanted to go into something scientific.
Mm.
And then in 11th grade, I kind of found out about dentistry and
Mhm.
learning that you can go to school and actually become a dentist.
Mhm.
That was kind of cool. So ever since 11th grade,
Wow.
I've known. Yeah.
Okay. What, like, piqued your interest at 11th grade? Like, why then? Was there something that
Yeah.
happened?
Really embarrassing, actually. It was a homework assignment, and I was supposed to follow somebody and write about
Yeah.
about the job.
Yeah.
And I followed my aunt, who's a medical interpreter, and I thought this is gonna be such an easy day.
Mhm.
I lived in Southwest Minnesota, and it was boring. I'm like, she's not gonna have to work today.
Yeah.
And so actually, she ended up going to the dental clinic.
Mhm.
And so we went and we were watching somebody get a root canal done, which I've never even thought about in my life.
Yeah.
And she just looked at me and she's like, hey, do you think you could do that? I'm like, do what? She's
Yeah,
like,
said
be a
that?
dentist. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, what? Nobody can just be a dentist. Yeah. And that's piqued my interest. I'm like, wait, you can learn how to do this?
Mhm.
And then I kept shadowing dentists, and I had this experience once that I knew I wanted to have when I grew up. There was a dentist who gave this patient dentures, and I was just watching, and the woman cried, and she cried, and it was good cries.
Mhm.
She was positive and happy.
Joyful cries. Joyful
Yeah,
tears.
I was like, whoa, what did this guy
Yeah.
just do? Like, I was not expecting tears at all, and that was it. That was like, I want to be that person. I want
Yeah.
to change lives.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. I think that's why we're here, to be able to kind of see, like, not just all these, like, super trendy type of, like, things that people are doing or ways to change lives, but things like what you were doing is very important. Okay, so you're shadowing your aunt. That's in 11th grade. And then you go to college.
Mhm.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to college for 1 year at Southwest Minnesota State University.
Okay.
I think
So
that's...
you grew up down there, like
I
Marshall?
did. Yeah, Walnut
area?
Grove.
Okay.
Yeah. So we lived down there.
Yep.
And so I went there to stay close to home.
Yep.
Because, as a good Hmong daughter,
Yep.
you don't leave home and
Yep.
you stay home. But
Yep.
I lived in the dorms there for a semester, and I found out, I was like, what do I have to do to be a dentist? Like,
Mhm.
other than shadowing, where are the dental schools? I just started doing research.
Yeah.
Found out there's only one dental school in Minnesota. It's at the U of M.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, I need to get up there. I need to get up there. That's where the opportunities are. That's where I can go sneak and see dental students. So I transferred. I luckily got into the College of Biological Sciences at the U of M. I was a gopher. And
Yeah.
that's where it just all started, and I just figured I had to do it.
Cool. Was there a lot of pushback from your parents? Making that
Totally.
decision? Yeah, I
Yes.
was guessing so.
Yes,
Yeah.
they did not want me to move up here.
Yeah.
They didn't even trust me driving to Mankato from
Really?
Walnut Grove.
How
so
far is that?
It's like, I think, an hour and a half
Okay.
from
yeah.
there.
And then Southwest from here, like
Yeah.
what?
It's about 3 hours of
Yeah.
drive.
Okay.
I got really good at driving.
Did you?
Until the Land Rover went to the ditch.
That'll be a story for another time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So you get into college. You decided to come up here, pretty much kind of against your parents' wishes a little bit.
Yes.
And then you kill it for the 4 years.
Yeah, I had to live with my aunt and uncle.
Okay.
They're amazing.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
that's a little bit better than like living on your own for
I
your
didn't have
parents.
to pay rent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So you went to school for biology.
Biology,
right?
yeah.
And then you go to dentistry school.
Yep.
Where did you go for that? U of
Yep,
M, right?
U of M as well. So
Okay.
I became a biology major because I didn't get to take all the science classes I wanted in high school.
Mhm.
And my biology teacher was like, "Hey, that's what you majored for in college." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, light bulb! That's what college is for."
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How was that? Was it pretty difficult compared to like college?
Dental school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
You know, to get into dental school, there's so many people. There's like 1,000 applicants every year, and in the year I got in, 98 people get in, and so very
98?
competitive. Yeah.
Out of like you said like 1,000.
1,000 applicants.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But don't let that scare you away.
Yeah,
You know,
of course.
if you want it, you do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, every day I was so grateful to be there. I loved learning about this whole new side of the human body that I never really, got to delve into. And so being at dental school and doing that every day, learning the shape of teeth, learning how to like wax teeth and make it look like a blob of tooth, and then learning about pharmacology and everything. It was just amazing. I loved it. Gross anatomy,
That's awesome. Yeah, so like how long is dentistry school? Like is that 2 years?
It's 4 years.
4 more years.
The first 2 years were very intense in lectures and
Okay.
lab work. I remember we had like 1 week in our second year that was 7 exams in 1 week.
Yeah.
So like you really have to know this stuff and learn it, and you can't cram.
Yep.
And at the end of that, after the 4 years, you have to take your board exams and pass that, and it's the complete like you're tested over everything you've learned in the last 4 years.
Give us like so that sounds super tough. Give us like a crazy story of like dentistry school, like whether that be like super hard or just something crazy you had to encounter. Or...
Yeah. So our dental lab stuff, we get graded on the quality of our work, and it's so important. So one night, my friend and I were like, let's just stay after school, after lab, and just work on our lab stuff. And so we working, and it's snowing outside. And by the time we were done, it was like 1 a.m. And we walked out, and this is Minneapolis, you know?
Yeah.
And we walk out, and we're covered in, like, we're kind of in a mess because there's, like, stone and stuff on our clothes. We look at each other, and we're like, why are we still here? It's 1 o'clock. And now, if I had to do that procedure today, it takes, like, 30 seconds, you know? And it was like, you get so good at it. It was just to pour up the mottos and make it look beautiful and presentable, and you wanted to get an A. You didn't want to get a bad grade.
Yep. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So crazy hours for sure as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that was my next question. Like, how many hours do you think you put into like just practicing your craft
my
during
life.
school? Yeah.
Yeah, like every waking moment,
Yeah.
you're thinking about it. You definitely get taken away from like family and
Social life.
social life. Yeah, yeah. But you meet a lot of people there that
Yeah.
you never would have crossed paths with, and that was probably the best part, was meeting other people from different cultures, different perspectives, different walks of life, and learning so much.
Did you like have any mentors like going through dentistry school or just even college? Even now today, I guess.
Yeah, I had, number one, my older sister was really good at, encouraging me to keep applying and doing stuff that I need to do to get in, and just like stay motivated. Teachers were really good, professors, talking with them. And I just say, like, I was lucky and fortunate to have so many people like give advice throughout my life. And that's kind of why when we first opened the clinic, we were like, hey, let's promote this mentorship group, kinship in Minneapolis, and kind of help with that, because I felt like so many people had helped me along my path. Yeah. Still have mentors to this day. Yeah,
for sure. I think it's important to have mentors, but I think what you said was cool, which is just like you get help from everybody, and I think that a lot of people around us are very supportive of another. Like, as long as you're trying to do something, I think everybody will just kind of like support you,
right,
and trying to help you just kind of get there if they can,
right.
So never be afraid to ask.
Right, you just have to ask.
Yeah, never be afraid to ask. So did you just jump right into right out of dentistry school into this, or did you were you working other places?
I definitely worked at other places. I
Yeah.
worked in private with what they're called dental service organizations, basically corporate dentistry.
Yeah.
I've worked in public dentistry, worked in two very different extremes. And so after having those experiences, I was like, you know what, it's time for me to open my own because I want, like when you walk in, I want you to experience dentistry in a very welcoming environment, non-judgmental, and I just wanted to have time with my patients to build the relationships. And so now I do it every day.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, no, I felt that right when I walked in. It's not
Thanks.
just like a regular dentistry where I go get my teeth cleaned. It's more like, I don't know, it's a different vibe. It's like
Yeah.
a different feel when you walk into a place like this. So
Yeah. Thank you.
I think I feel like you pulled it off. What about like your parents? Like, I mean, obviously I wouldn't say they were the most supportive at the beginning. It was just like they were really scared for you.
Yeah.
What about you opening up your own spot? Did they have like any say in that? Or
Yeah.
like, did they have their opinions on it, of course?
They did.
Yeah.
My mom was very, I think, like, I don't come from a background of, like, anybody in my family's, like, in business or anything.
Yeah.
So they were like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't do this. You know,
Yeah.
it's too scary. Don't
Yeah.
do it. Just a lot of, like, why are you doing this? You know, you don't need to open your own. You can just continue to work for somebody else.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, when you have that want and you kind of, like, you know how it is, like, when you have a calling and something's just like, you know, this could be done better. This could be better. People's experiences can be better. I can do better. That wouldn't leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like, I try to tell myself, like, it's okay to work for somebody else, but when you want to change the way things are, like, you have to be the owner.
Yeah. I mean, you have to go against what is kind of set up, you know?
Right.
Otherwise, things are just going to be the same always.
Right.
So, yeah, no, I respect that 100%. I guess kind of backtracking, when you finally graduated and became an actual dentist, how were your parents reacting?
My mom was very happy.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, like, I did it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think I brought them along the journey with me. And so my mom, and you could tell, she was very, very happy that, like, she wouldn't have to worry about me anymore. And she would continue to express that, you know, after I was done with dentistry, was that I don't have to worry about you anymore. I can go worry about the other kids.
Yeah.
I can worry about your brothers and sisters. So essentially, it's just kind of like, you know, you're an adult now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not married, so
Yeah.
when you're not married, you hear a lot of, like, you know, people in hmong culture, like, you're never an
Oh my
adult.
God, yeah.
But, like, being to this level, it's like they still love you, they still take care of you, but they kind of know, like, you're an adult now. I trust your decisions. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just kind of went full circle, right? So
Right.
that's awesome. Okay, so let's talk about, you know, what you guys have set up here. How did you
Yeah.
kind of come up? I think your branding is awesome as far as like the
Thanks.
logo and the feel and the vibe, like I was saying earlier. How did you kind of come up with that, and I guess what kind of like just sparked that into your mindset when creating this place?
Yeah. You know, I really wanted something that was modern and relatable to everybody of this age. And I wanted to feel like less like a dental clinic or a medical clinic when you walk into the door. I wanted you to kind of feel like it was a coffee shop. Again, when I was in dental school, I studied a lot. I loved Starbucks. I loved going to coffee shops and just, I really wasn't branded. I just went to whatever. And I loved coffee shops. So I was like, you know what? My happiest place is at a coffee shop. I'm talking to architects and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make it feel like a coffee shop.
Yeah.
And so they kept wanting to throw in elements that felt like a dental clinic. And I was like, no, absolutely not. That just reminds me of a dental clinic. That's like, some people are really scared.
Yeah.
And so when they walk in through the door, I want them to feel a little bit thrown off.
Or they hate going there because it's just like, it just feels like you're going to the doctor.
Yeah.
But you're not really. Yeah.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
this is the good kind of doctor. You know? Like, this is fun. You come
Yeah.
in, you get water, you get your snacks, you get coffee on the way out if you want. We don't judge. We love coffee. And because we know we can whiten our teeth afterwards.
Yeah.
So the branding, Minneapolis Dentistry Company, I was looking around for names. It was really, really hard. And I wanted something that was kind of open so that if someday I had another dentist join me, I wouldn't have to switch, you know, the name. Like, it wouldn't just be Yang Dentistry or, And then if I added someone, it'd be like Yang and something dentistry, you know. I wanted to be inclusive so that the whole team would feel like they have ownership. So that's how it goes,
That
to make
makes sense.
everybody feel good about it.
What about like the logo? Like I feel like it's a very modern type of logo. Modern, trendy type of like, it fits into like 2019, 2020 type of logo.
Yeah, thanks. So there's like a little rectangle
Yeah.
around Dentistry Company, and Minneapolis is on the top, and it's just kind of saying like, think outside of the box. It doesn't have to be the same as it always was. You're still getting the, you know, amazing high quality dental care because we're spending time with you, but thinking outside of the box, what can we do to enhance your smile? What can we do to listen to what you need? And how can we get you there?
And you can't kind of came up with that concept, or did your designer?
The designers definitely like, you know, had some sketches and
Yeah.
all, and so I just kind of selected through them. They had one where the Minneapolis was in the box. I was like, geez, that feels so confining. Like it feels like I'm stuck in a box, and I didn't like that. My whole life is about not being stuck in a box.
As we can tell. Yeah, that's awesome though. So what about your team? I mean, how many people are on your team?
So currently there's 4, and you know the team is. It's so important to have the right people on the team for any group of people, and everybody believes in the vision. Everybody believes in giving the best dental care. So everybody's listening to what the patient wants. And let's see, we've got.
How do you choose your team? Like
How?
Yeah, like I mean, are you the only dentist here? Or?
I am. I'm the only dentist, and I chose a team based on like attitude, personality, and experiences. They just, you know, you just have to find the right people, otherwise it doesn't work.
Yeah, for
right?
sure. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
they're all kind.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing to me.
Yes.
Because then they can, like, skills and stuff, that's a commodity. Anybody can learn skills.
Right.
But they have to have the right attitude, personality, and be kind. I think those things that you can learn, but those are things that help a team kind of mesh well together.
Yeah.
So I think that's huge, and I love that you just said that.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about, I mean, so you're a dentist. Talk a little bit about the myths. I mean, you brought a coffee earlier. A lot of dentists are like, pretty much don't drink coffee, or if you do, drink it through like a straw or something like that.
A lot of dentists do drink coffee.
Yeah, do they?
Secret.
It's a secret. Yeah, I heard it here first.
Yeah. I mean, we love, you know, there's a lot of dentists that love coffee and brownies and chocolate, etc. The biggest thing is we know how to take care of the teeth. We've seen so much that we know, I personally know, like, you don't want your teeth to end up like some patients who have put it off. So myths would be, let's see, I mean, some people say, you know, sparkling water is bad for you. It's actually not bad for you. It's like water. But if you had like really acidic sparkling water, that could be bad because the acid kind of gets in there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but you can drink coffee. Just drink water afterwards and don't sip on pop all day. Don't, you know, pop is bad. It has a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, okay. And a lot of acidity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. What about diet coffee? Diet Coke, or like a diet kind of pop?
They're all
Same deal?
yeah,
Same deal?
sweetened beverages. They just
Gotcha.
released a study that said that, you know, sweetened beverages is really bad for your oral health, your teeth, because it breaks down the tooth because it's so hard. But the acid, it's like putting an egg in pop. And if you put an egg in pop, the eggshell will start to go away. That's kind of what's happening to your teeth.
Wow.
And yeah.
Sheesh. Okay, so stop drinking pop. What about like? I guess like. So you guys are here. Well, why Minneapolis? Why do you guys choose Minneapolis?
Yeah, Minneapolis. I love Uptown.
I do too.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
It's such a positive, refreshing place to be, and I love it. So I want to bring patients out here to this area because I used to live in St. Paul, and it was very like every time you think about Minneapolis, you think about, oh, parking's horrible. I never want to go to Minneapolis. Parking, you know. And so we made sure we got free parking downstairs.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But really, I like both cities. I like, you know, I love Minnesota. I actually thought about moving rural, but I didn't because I really like restaurants. I'm a foodie, and
Are you?
yeah.
Yeah.
love this area.
Yeah, there's a lot of good spots around here.
So I was a little selfish.
Yeah.
So I was kind of thinking about
you're
myself.
like, on lunch, you can go here and
Yes.
here. What's a good spot around here? What do you like?
I love going to Kwong, but I love Zoe's Cafe. They have really good baked goods and coffee. Gosh, there's just so much good
There's
stuff
so much
around
stuff
here.
around here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Going back to like myths and stuff. I mean, well, even like best practices. What about like? I mean, we see like a lot of influencers on social media. They use like those handheld teeth whitener stuff.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on those?
Oh.
Do you support any of those or no? Or
I feel like most of the time on social media, I think some people might not tell you the whole truth,
I agree
right?
with that.
Like they might feel sensitivity, but because if they can get you to click on this link and buy it, I think they make some money off of it.
Or they get paid up front. That's why they give you a good review. Yeah.
Yeah. Or they get a deal off of it. And
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that, but I do know that with hydrogen peroxide, what we use, with that kind of stuff, if the gel gets on your gums, it can burn. So when you're here in the dental clinic, it's a lot easier because we can isolate the gums and make sure that that's not touching. But I think my biggest concern with it all is really if you don't know, like if you haven't been to the dentist in a while and you're doing that, and all of a sudden you get this intense pain, it might be because you have a cavity that you don't know about, and you put this acid on it, and now it's just burning and throbbing, and now you've caused more problems. So that's my biggest concern about over-the-counter
Those type of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are some like DIY things? Let's say, I mean, obviously they should definitely come here.
Yeah.
Book your session with Pakou.
Thanks. Yeah.
But what, like, let's say someone doesn't want to go to the dentist. What are like some DIY things, if there's even anything?
Yeah, I would say just be careful. Like, I am an American Dental Association dentist, and one of the big things that has come up is, charcoal for toothbrushing.
I've seen that too.
Yeah, it's very abrasive, and so if you're overdoing things like that too much, you could be ripping off that hard enamel and, causing more issues in that area. So, I think if you're somebody that regularly goes to the dentist and you just really don't want to come in for the whitening, I don't know why, because you can get it done in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But if you decide you don't want to do that, you could try it at home, try at home products, but just be really careful about like not burning your gums, because it does take a while to let it heal.
Yeah. There's been a lot of like different stuff other than like braces for like teeth. Like, I don't know, do you offer any of those services? Yeah. Like what's
aligners,
Invisalign. Invisalign, yeah. Those stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you offer, so it's a good option, of course, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's like braces.
Yeah.
The concept is the same, but the way we do it is instead of having metal wires where people can see everything, there's a series of trays that you go through, and they move your teeth gently. Because in order to move the teeth, the bone in front of that has to break down, the bone behind has to get rebuilt. And so that it's moving teeth, but the thing is you want to make sure you're getting it from a dentist or orthodontist. Don't do it yourselves, because that could be bad.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't know if you have gum disease. That
Yeah,
would be bad.
for sure.
You'll lose your teeth. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Sheesh. Okay. Everybody, make sure you go see a dentist before you do anything. Okay. So what about like if someone wants to become a dentist?
Yes.
What are some, I guess, tips? What are some things that they should kind of know before they actually pursue it, and what are some, I guess, pieces of motivation or inspiration on their journey if they decide to pursue it?
Yeah, I would say really research, and the biggest thing you can do to solidify your decision, if you haven't already, is get out there and shadow. Go to a dental clinic, go to a private dentist, walk in, go up to the desk and ask if you could have the dentist give you a call back or something if the dentist is busy. And this is why I need to have kind people on my team, because I went up to so many different ones where like the front desk was just really mean and rude. And they're really scary. And so when I said, when I'm a dentist, I'm going to have nice front desk people. And so anyways, I would go in, walk in, and just ask and say, do you think it's possible I'm interested in being a dentist? Can I come in and shadow? And leave your name and number. Be ready for them to say no. But I mean, that's the worst thing that could happen is they say no, Most of us are pretty nice. So shadow, and then really see if this is your true passion, and just realize that it's very physically tolling. So your back is going to hurt, your neck might hurt if you don't take care of yourself. And I would say If you've got questions, feel free to reach out. Every person I meet that expresses a little interest, I'm all for it. I'm like, hey, let's talk about this. Let's get you to dental school. Let's talk about it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that advice 100% because I feel like you don't really know until you're actually in it, you know, if that's something that you're actually interested in.
Right.
So I guess my advice, or even advice for myself right now, is just try as many things as possible and try to get job shadows. I think that's huge. Or just try to meet people in the industry and just kind of pick their brains and see if that's something you want to do on a daily basis every day, you know.
It's so important.
Yeah. So
they don't want you to get to third year of dental school or fourth year and drop out.
Yeah,
like that's a lot of debt.
Yeah, exactly. So that's 100%. That I love that advice. So I mean, we're Hmong, and I feel like a lot of people in the Hmong community that start businesses, the target audience is the Hmong audience, which is fine.
Yeah.
I think that's great, but I think with your approach, it's been very different as far as like, yes, you're Hmong, but that's not just your target audience. But with your branding, with your location, with the type of vibe you guys give off here, I mean, was that on purpose, or is just kind of like just who you are?
No, it's just who I am. I think all of my experiences have been, I've never thought about not serving the Hmong community. I love the Hmong community. Yeah. I have great patients that travel far from Maplewood, St. Paul to come here. People I don't even know. And I'm just so grateful that they could go anywhere they choose to come here. And I've never like separated. I think really I was just thinking like, what is the part of the Twin Cities that I like the most? And I was like, gosh, I love Uptown. I love the lake area. And so I said, if this is going to be a thing where I actually settle down, I want to make sure that every day when I wake up and I go there, like I enjoy it and I love it.
Yep.
But I love serving the Hmong community. I love seeing the patients who, because I get it. Like when we lived in Walnut Grove, it was really hard to find a dentist, especially for the big family. And so for me, when I see Hmong people who come to me who say, hey, it's been so long, I don't even remember. And I'm like, look, I'm not here to judge you. Like, I get it. Like, I've lived a life. Like, our parents didn't really think preventative healthcare was important. And so those are, like, almost my favorite stories, too. People, not only Hmong, but other people who come in and spend a while. Like, those are the people I love helping because it's an opportunity to say, hey, don't blame yourself. Let's get you back to healthy so that you don't have to keep living like this. Yeah. In fear.
I love that. That's awesome. So what's next? I mean, you guys have just opened up in May. You're trying to, I think you guys are doing great. I mean, I feel like it. What's next for you guys? What are you guys focusing on?
Thanks. Really establishing ourselves here in Minneapolis and the whole Twin Cities. And just actually, getting people to know that if you've gone somewhere else and you're not feeling like you're being heard, like that's what I want to be. I want to be that place that's, you've had poor experiences elsewhere and you're ready for us. So come on in. So that's the biggest thing right now is like being here and saying we're permanent. We're not going away. And you'll always know where to find us. And after this, I'm right at the beginning. So what's next would be if it gets busy and it's great, maybe in 5-6 years, maybe open another location. But I think I love it here and I'm just gonna stay here. And I think people who value the high quality work and time, they'll travel to come.
100%. I agree with that. Well, cool. I mean, that's pretty much everything I got for you. I appreciate the time and appreciate you being on the podcast. Best wishes to you and your team. I think you guys have a great vibe, great team, great leader, great everything. Thanks. So thank you so much for being on.
Thanks for being my first podcast. This is awesome.
Awesome. Thanks. Cool.
Yes. Bye.